Have you ever taken a bite of something thinking it was healthy because, well, it always used to be, only to find out later it's doing more harm than good? Now think about this. What if the cheese you sprinkle on your toast, the one you melt into your eggs, the one that reminds you of comfort, tradition, and home? What if that very cheese is slowly raising your blood pressure, inflaming your joints, messing with your digestion, and quietly aging you from the inside out? Most people never stop to question cheese. It's just cheese. It's been in the fridge forever. It's in the grocery cart without a second thought. It's in your breakfast, your sandwich, your midnight snack. But after 60, your body isn't the same. And food? It becomes medicine or poison. You see, the cheeses that once helped build your strength in your 30s or 40s might now be chipping away at your bone health, inflaming your gut, and sabotaging your energy levels without you even realizing. And that's not fear talking. That's wisdom. Because when you cross 60, your digestion slows. Your blood vessels narrow. Your kidneys work harder. Your bones become more fragile. And what used to be a small indulgence can now be a quiet trigger for chronic pain, fatigue, or worse, stroke. But here's the good news. There are cheeses that actually work with your aging body. Cheeses that soothe inflammation, protect your bones, support your brain, and keep your digestion happy. Yes, cheese can still be your friend, but only if you choose the right ones. So in this video, we're diving deep into 8 cheeses 4 you should never touch again after 60, and 4 you should absolutely eat every single day. Some of them might surprise you. Some of them you probably have in your fridge right now. But before we begin, I want you to pause, just for a moment, and ask yourself, is what I'm eating helping me thrive, or is it slowly dragging me down? Because you deserve better than fatigue. You deserve better than joint pain. You deserve to wake up feeling clear-headed, strong, and alive. And sometimes all it takes is one small switch in your daily routine. So, if you're ready to start making smarter, stronger choices after 60, comment below, still thriving. Let me know you're here, you're awake, and you're not going down without a fight. And hey, if this kind of honest, real talk about aging well speaks to you, tap that subscribe button. This is Thriving Oldies, where we don't just talk about living longer. We talk about living better. Now let's open that fridge and take a serious look at what's really inside. Because what you're about to learn might just change the way you age. Picture this. Every afternoon, a grandfather sits at the kitchen table. Same sandwich, 2 slices of white bread, 1 slice of cheese, folded, toasted, done. It's his ritual, his comfort, the thing he trusts because it's simple, predictable. But what he doesn't know is that this tiny habit, this little moment of ease, is slowly building something dangerous inside him. That neat yellow square? It isn't real cheese. It's a manufactured mixture, pumped with emulsifiers to bind it, artificial colors to make it pop, and so much sodium it could push your blood pressure higher than a balloon. You see, processed cheese slices are filled with trans fats, those sneaky shelf-stable fats that were designed to last forever, but take a toll on your body every single time you eat them. Trans fats inflame your arteries. They harden your blood vessels. They push your bad cholesterol up and your good cholesterol down. And after 60, that inflammation can show up in the form of fatigue, brain fog, kidney trouble, or a quiet stroke that nobody saw coming. But here's the kicker. Most folks still think it's cheese. Cheese is full of calcium. It's good for my bones, right? No, not this kind. These yellow squares are more plastic than protein, more salt than substance. And every bite might taste like childhood, but it's robbing you of strength in your older years. So what's the better choice? Skip the fake stuff. Swap it for real cheese made with milk, enzymes, and thyme, not chemicals. Later in this video, I'll show you a creamy, delicious alternative that's packed with protein, supports digestion, and actually helps you age better, not worse. Because aging well isn't just about what you add. It's about what you let go of. And speaking of letting go, there's a cheese you might be eating right now that's marketed as classy, bold, flavorful. But for your body, it's a ticking time bomb. She was in her 70s. A widow, recently retired, trying to take better care of herself. So she started shopping smarter, reading labels, skipping red meat, adding greens. Then she heard somewhere that blue cheese was elegant, full of good mold, rich in flavor. So she bought a wedge, crumbled it into her salad, drizzled a little olive oil. She felt healthy, in control, proud. But weeks later, her knees ached like never before. Her fingers stiffened in the mornings. And her blood pressure, which had been steady for years, suddenly jumped. Blue cheese may be bold and fancy on the plate, but inside the body? It's loaded with tyramine, a compound that tightens blood vessels, spikes pressure, and can trigger painful migraines. It's also high in saturated fats that clog up arteries and fuel joint inflammation, especially in folks with arthritis, gout, or sensitive kidneys. Here's what most people get wrong. They think the word aged means healthy. They assume the mold in blue cheese is natural and good for the gut. But that's marketing, not medicine. For older adults, that mold can interact badly with certain medications, especially MAO inhibitors, a common treatment for depression and Parkinson's. And even without the meds, the strain it places on your digestive system and blood vessels is just not worth the risk. So what can you do instead? If you love bold flavors, don't worry. There is an aged cheese that gives you the richness without the regret. We'll get to that soon. But for now, do yourself a quiet favor. Next time you see blue cheese in the grocery store, walk away. Because what sounds gourmet on the tongue can be poison to your aging heart, joints, and brain. And just when you think you've spotted the troublemakers, there's another one that hides behind a good reputation. It's white, crumbly, fresh-looking, tossed into every so-called healthy salad you see on restaurant menus. But don't let the presentation fool you, because this next cheese? It's salty sabotage dressed up as health food. Let's talk about it. Now let me take you to a quiet evening in a small backyard. A senior couple in their late 60s, sitting side by side. They've just discovered the joys of Mediterranean eating. Olive oil, olives, cherry tomatoes, and a generous sprinkle of feta on their colorful salad. They felt good about it. It looked healthy. It felt fresh. It reminded them of younger days and warm vacations. But not long after, the wife began feeling off. Her stomach bloated after meals. She felt lightheaded, even nauseous. Her blood pressure, once stable, began to creep up again, bit by bit. And the culprit? That innocent-looking white crumble, feta. You see, feta is a brine cheese, soaked and stored in salt water. And while it's often hailed as heart-healthy in magazines and on health blogs, it's one of the saltiest cheeses you can buy. Just a few ounces can contain more sodium than an entire meal should. And after 60, your kidneys don't flush out salt like they used to. That excess salt sticks around. It pulls water into your bloodstream. It raises your blood pressure. It causes swelling in the ankles, keeps you up at night, bloated, tired, and foggy. But here's where the confusion sets in. Feta has that clean look. It crumbles easily. It's white, simple, and marketed as light. So people assume it must be fresh. It must be safe. But here's the truth. Fresh does not always mean healthy. And when it comes to feta, salt is the hidden danger no one talks about. So what's the better move? We're going to explore some low-sodium, high-nutrient cheeses in just a moment. One of them is gut-friendly and actually supports blood sugar balance. And yes, it still tastes amazing. But first, there's one more cheese we need to talk about. It's creamy, soft. It's spread on toast across the country every single morning. But for an aging body, it's a silent saboteur. He was a quiet man, a widower in his early 70s. Every morning, like clockwork, he toasted a slice of bread, spread a thick layer of cream cheese, and sat by the window to watch the sunrise. It was his comfort, his routine, something familiar to anchor the day. But week after week he started feeling slower. His energy dipped. His joints ached. His cholesterol numbers crept up. He couldn't climb the stairs as easily. And by afternoon he often needed a nap just to get through the day. He never thought to question that morning ritual. It was just a little cream cheese. What harm could it do? Here's the reality. Cream cheese is one of the most deceptive foods out there. It feels light because it spreads easily. It looks innocent because it's white and soft. But inside, it's a wallop of saturated fat with barely any protein, barely any calcium, and zero real nutrition for the aging body. It clogs the arteries. It slows digestion. It adds to that low-grade inflammation that most seniors feel but can't quite name. Stiff joints, brain fog, constant fatigue. And unlike other cheeses that give you something in return, some protein, some bone support, some gut benefit, cream cheese, it gives you nothing but calories and a slow buildup of problems you didn't see coming. People often say, well, it's not like I'm eating cheddar. This is lighter, right? But no, lighter in texture doesn't mean lighter on your heart. What your body needs now is every bite to count. You deserve food that gives back. Cheese that builds you, not breaks you. Flavor that fuels you, not fatigues you. So if cream cheese has been your go-to, it might be time to lovingly let it go. Because what comes next might just change the way you see cheese and aging forever. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the cheeses you should be eating. The ones that support your bones, soothe your gut, protect your heart, and help you age not just longer, but better. These next 4, they're your quiet superfoods. Let's get into them. Let me tell you about a grandmother I met not long ago. She was always tired after meals. She'd complain about bloating. Her knees ached when she stood too long. And even though she tried to eat light, she never felt truly nourished. Then, one simple change. She started adding a scoop of cottage cheese to her breakfast. Nothing fancy. Just a spoonful alongside her fruit and tea. And within weeks, her digestion improved. She felt lighter. She had more energy. And she noticed her joints weren't as stiff in the mornings. Cottage cheese may not be flashy. It's not the star at the party. But it's one of the most powerful, underrated foods for people over 60. Why? Because it's high in protein, the kind your muscles actually need to stay strong as you age. It's also full of probiotics, the good bacteria that keep your gut happy and your immune system resilient. And unlike most cheeses, it's low in fat and sodium, so it's gentle on your heart, your blood pressure, and your kidneys. Think about it. One little bowl once a day and you're feeding your muscles, protecting your bones, and helping your stomach do its job better. This isn't about dieting. It's about fueling your body with kindness. You can add cottage cheese to smoothies, eat it with berries, mix it into a salad, or just enjoy it with a drizzle of honey or a handful of nuts. It's simple, soft, and it works. But if you're someone who likes a little crunch, a little bite, something with real flavor that still supports your aging body, then you'll love this next one. There was a man, early 70s, who started grating just a little bit of Parmesan on everything. His doctor told him he needed more calcium, more protein, and less salt. So instead of reaching for processed cheese or heavy sauces, he grabbed the grater. And a few months later, his bone scan looked better. His joint stiffness eased up. And most surprising of all, his mental clarity improved. He felt sharper, more alert, more present. You see, Parmesan isn't just tasty. It's medicinal, if you use it wisely. It's one of the most nutrient-dense cheeses on the planet. Packed with bioavailable calcium, the kind your body actually absorbs and uses to protect your bones. Rich in phosphorus, which works with calcium to strengthen your skeleton. And full of protein without being high in moisture or sodium. Even better, Parmesan is an aged cheese, and during that aging process the lactose breaks down. So it's easier to digest for seniors who may be lactose sensitive. And here's the thing. You don't need much. Just a sprinkle. Over your soup. On steamed veggies. Into a morning egg dish. A little goes a long way. And what you're adding isn't just flavor, it's fuel. Fuel for your bones, your brain, and your heart. And if you've been missing strong, bold flavors, flavors that wake up your palate and make food fun again, well, you're going to love what's next. Because this next cheese is bold, creamy, easy on the gut, and gentle on the body. Let's talk about it. Let me introduce you to a woman named Esther. She was in her mid-60s, lively, always smiling, but lately, every meal seemed to leave her uncomfortable. Bloating, gas, and that nagging feeling that her stomach just wasn't settling. She tried cutting out bread. She tried smaller portions. Nothing worked. Until one day her daughter brought over a little log of soft goat cheese. Esther was skeptical. But she spread a bit on a cracker, topped it with a slice of pear, and something changed. She didn't feel heavy afterward. No bloating. No discomfort. Just ease. It became her go-to. And week by week, her digestion calmed. Her energy lifted. She smiled more after meals. What made the difference? Goat cheese is naturally lower in lactose than cow's milk cheese, making it easier to digest, especially for older adults who develop sensitivities later in life. It also contains medium-chain fatty acids, healthy fats that your body burns more efficiently for energy. These fats don't just sit in your gut. They move, they fuel, they help. And here's something else. Goat cheese contains a softer form of casein protein, which is gentler on the gut lining and less inflammatory than what's found in most cow cheeses. So if you've been struggling with indigestion, gas, or that sluggish post-meal fatigue, switching to goat cheese might be the simple shift your gut needs. You can spread it on whole grain crackers, toss it into salads, pair it with grapes, apples, or even roasted veggies. It's creamy, tangy, gentle, and most importantly, it loves your body back. Now, let's bring it home. There's one last cheese I want to share with you. It's ancient, soft, often overlooked, but quietly powerful. For blood sugar, for muscle, for inflammation, this one's a game changer. He was in his early 70s living with type 2 diabetes, managing his numbers, watching his carbs. But still, he battled with cravings, especially for creamy foods and late-night snacks. His doctor told him to be careful with dairy, but he missed that soft, satisfying texture. Then one day he tried ricotta, not in pasta, but on toast, with a drizzle of honey and cinnamon. And something surprising happened. He felt full longer. His cravings eased. His blood sugar? It didn't spike the way it used to. Here's why. Ricotta cheese is rich in whey protein, the same type found in high-end fitness supplements, but naturally built into this soft, creamy cheese. Whey protein helps regulate blood sugar, supports lean muscle, and fights inflammation, 3 pillars of healthy aging. It's also lower in sodium and fat than many other cheeses, and it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair, rebuild, and stay strong. Think of it like this. Ricotta is your gentle builder, quietly supporting your muscles, keeping your metabolism steady, helping you recover and feel stable, not spiked, not crashed. And the best part? It's delicious. You can stir it into smoothies, spread it on toast, mix it into oatmeal, or even fold it into a healthy dessert. It gives you that creamy comfort, without the cream overload. So if you've been looking for a cheese that's kind to your blood sugar, kind to your joints, kind to your energy, ricotta might just be your new best friend. And now that you know the 4 cheeses to avoid, and the 4 that could truly help you thrive, let's take a moment to reflect. Because this isn't just about cheese. It's about honoring your body, listening to it, feeding it with intention, and learning even now that aging can be powerful, beautiful, and full of life. But only if you choose it, one bite at a time, one choice at a time. Let's keep going. Let's be honest for a moment. It's never easy to change lifelong habits, especially when it comes to food, because food isn't just fuel. It's memory. It's culture. It's the thing your mother made when you were sick, the snack your spouse brought you in bed, the quiet treat you reached for when the world felt too loud. Cheese, in particular, holds a strange kind of comfort. It's familiar. It's creamy. Feels like home. So when someone tells you, this thing you love might be harming you, it can feel unfair, even overwhelming. You might wonder, what's left? What else do I have to give up? But here's the thing. This isn't about taking something away. It's about giving something back. Back to your energy. Back to your bones. Back to your mind, your mood, your mornings that don't start with bloating or stiffness or that slow, foggy ache that's so easy to dismiss as just aging. Because aging doesn't have to mean declining. Not if you're willing to pay attention. Not if you're ready to shift, even just a little. You see, knowledge isn't fear. It's freedom. Now that you know which cheeses cause harm and which ones bring healing, you're not powerless anymore. You don't have to blindly grab what's easy or familiar. You can choose what serves you, what honors you. And it doesn't have to be a massive overhaul. Start small. Maybe tomorrow morning, instead of that processed cheese on toast, you reach for a bit of ricotta with honey. Maybe you swap the blue cheese in your salad for goat cheese. Maybe you just read the label on the package you've been buying for years. Small steps, but meaningful ones. Because every time you make a nourishing choice, you're not just feeding your body. You're telling it, I still care. You're saying, you're still worth the effort. And friend, let me say this clearly. You are not too old to heal. You are not too late to change. You are not beyond repair. You are not forgotten by your body. It still wants to thrive. It just needs your help. So give yourself that chance. Let every bite be a quiet act of self-love. Not a punishment, not a chore, but a gentle reminder that you are still here and you are still worth fighting for. Because this isn't about cheese. It's about the life you get to live because you made better choices. And that is always something to be proud of. Let's take a moment to breathe and remember what we've uncovered today. To recap, we talked about 4 cheeses that might feel familiar, even comforting, but can quietly work against your health after 60. We talked about processed cheese slices, with their artificial fillers and sodium that strain your heart. We warned about blue cheese, bold in flavor but rough on blood pressure and joints. We touched on feta, that salty little trap hiding in salads. And cream cheese, deceptively soft, but heavy with saturated fats and little to offer in return. And then we shifted. We discovered 4 powerful allies, cheeses that work with your aging body, not against it. Cottage cheese, gentle on digestion, rich in protein. Parmesan, nutrient-dense, easy to digest, and deeply satisfying in small amounts. Goat cheese, easy on the gut, lower in lactose, and full of healthy fats. And ricotta, a soft, versatile gem that supports your blood sugar, your muscles, and your overall strength. These aren't just food choices. They're daily decisions that help shape the quality of your life. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which cheese on this list surprised you the most? Is there one you've been eating regularly that you're now rethinking? Or maybe there's one you're excited to try. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who cares deeply about your health, your future, and the little things that make a big difference. So if this video opened your eyes, gave you clarity, or simply made you feel seen, tap that like button. And join us here at Thriving Oldies, where every video is created to help you not just add years to your life, but add life to your years. Because aging doesn't mean fading. Not here. Not with us. It means evolving, learning, getting stronger in quieter ways. Thank you, truly, for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, stay kind to your body, and above all, stay thriving. I'll see you in the next video.